How are you? Good evening. Sorry for the delay last night. I am Denise. This is my husband, Dimitri.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, we kind of got caught up with family and got back a little too late, so...
It happens. It's reality, real life.
All right, well...
So what are we talking about tonight?
Today...
So this is going to be a huge surprise because not even we knew what we were going to talk about up until 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, the good thing is I think I'm just going to go, fly by the seat of my...
What are you talking about? I spent 5 minutes doing a little presentation here on the computer. We're going to use it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I didn't have much time to go through it, but I'll just fly by knowledge.
Right.
For the most part.
So we decided we were going to talk about Brazilian blowouts and keratin treatments because we had some people who asked about those, and instead of giving you just the bad, the ugly, why you should never ever do that to your hair, we're going to talk about actually how to care for it, because we can't change your habits. We can give you some information, and I'm supposed to let Dimitri talk more tonight. So.
Oh, is that right? Is that
That's what somebody said last time, so I'm gonna let you talk.
All right. Well, you're gonna work this thing here, and
I'm gonna hit the space bar.
Okay, great.
When it's time to hit it. Oh, are we ready?
Yeah.
I would just tell me to hit it.
Well, we're gonna talk about Brazilian blowouts, like Denise mentioned. So, let's see. Well,
there we go. Ta-da!
Okay. Brazilian blowouts are temporary, which means they do not chemically change the structure of your hair. There are straighteners and relaxers, such as the Japanese straightener.
Ooh, you threw it in. I said we weren't going to talk about them.
Okay, but like I said, I'm
30 seconds in.
But those contain thioglycolate, which will change the structure of your hair and permanently straighten it. Keratin does not do that. Keratin just kind of coats the hair. So it's temporary. It lasts 3 to 6 months, they say, but in my experience, 2 to 4.
Really?
Yeah, and you also have to remember, after about 3 months, you have so much root, you need that touched up anyway.
Hot roots.
It's best for frizzy and coarse hair, so it smooths it out.
What do you mean? So like if I had really thin, which God, that's never happened, but thin and fine hair, you can't get that? A Brazilian blowout and keratin straightening is not good for it.
Typically, fine hair is straight. If you have fine curly hair, yeah, sure you can.
Really?
Yeah.
Good to know. Don't have that, but keep going. Just to throw you right off track. That's what I'm here for.
Most of them will if you have a really tight curl, most of them will straighten that curl, give it a wave. It won't take out the curl completely. Like I said, it contains no thio, so it won't structurally change your hair, but it will loosen the curl a lot. So, and of course, it's from the use of keratin. Now, keratin is a protein.
You love to say that. If you do the thing with the hands, I'm going to crack up. Show them what it is.
Well, keratin lays on your hair, so
it overlaps. That's what you say, it overlaps.
So when you use it over and over again, keratin is meant to wash out, but after it washes out a little bit, people start to see some of that curl come back, and they think that they're ready to go back for another application, and therefore you start to overlap the keratin. I'll
tell you what I would do if I was a hairdresser. You come in, because that stuff is like $400. I'd give you a Brazilian blowout every week if that's what you thought you needed. Oh yeah, girl, you need some Brazilian blowout.
Well, that's why you're not a stylist, because we tend to focus more on the client's needs. So
yeah, you need to give me that $450.
Well, it's more about the client and having them walk out with healthy hair. So keratin. Well, remember, it's my name on their head, so it has to be right.
Surgeon did that, put their name on their belly, and they got sued.
Is that right?
True story.
Imagine that. Lord.
Anyway,
but a satisfied customer will tell, 5 people, where an unsatisfied customer will tell 20.
Good to know. All right.
All right. So anyways, like I said, keratin is a protein. Protein is a hard substance. So once you put it on the hair, and once heat is applied to it, it hardens it. It will bond onto the hair. So it'll coat the hair.
Like spackle on a wall, like it fills in the holes.
It fills in the gaps, yes. So,
but it's not as strong.
And again, like I said, so overuse of keratin will make the hair brittle and it'll cause breakage because it becomes such a hard substance. It'll just snap. It'll break.
So you get breakage in the hair.
Yeah. So
but you have straight, shiny hair.
You have straight, shiny hair,
but
absolutely. But it's coated.
Pick your battles.
With keratin.
Pick your battle.
You know, like I said, keratin is what, well, it's what your nails and your hair are made of initially. And if you feel your nails and you feel how hard it is and how strong that is, that's what happens. Your hair, once you apply keratin over and over again, it'll become a harder substance and it'll break easier. So, also with hair that's already been processed, especially blondes out there with the high lifts, they're very popular nowadays. Be very careful with keratin because your hair is already brittle and already, you know, very on the edge of breaking. So
on the edge. Hair on the edge. So, somebody talk it down.
Be very, very weary.
And leery.
Plus, in order for keratin to work, it requires heat. It requires some flat ironing.
And we talked to you about what heat does to your hair and how bad it was and how damaging. So it goes up to a really high temperature, I understand. Like in order
450 degrees.
Ay, mama. That's a lot.
That's pretty hot. That's hot,
baby. Sizzle a steak with that.
That is hot.
That's some hot stuff.
So yeah, that along with the keratin and along with already, you know, highly processed hair or bleached hair, you can imagine what's going on. So
enough of that. Let's move on to the fun stuff because I want to talk about something I know. I don't know about all that.
All right. Well, most of these products contain formaldehyde. All right. So if you read the package, it'll say must use in a highly ventilated area. So formaldehyde is very dangerous for you. I know. I tried, you know, I've done quite a few of them.
What
it goes right into your face. You can't help it, you know.
Right.
Especially, you know, anyways. But you need to be in a very, you know, a well-ventilated area.
So
it really irritated my eyes for sure.
That's the problem.
Caused some swelling for me. And now, here's the thing. I decided to go with formaldehyde-free.
I love that. That sounds awesome.
Keratin treatments. Well, do
they really exist?
Well, be careful because you need to read the ingredients. Now, a company can say they've been recalled and they had been shut down, but they had to repackage everything and redo everything. So, you know, back to the drawing board with these chemists, and they had to figure out a different way and how to make the product formaldehyde free. Now, the package will say formaldehyde free, and the back of it will say, you know, a list of ingredients that doesn't sound like English to me.
Oh, I know what they are.
I'm sure you do, Doctor. But what they wind up doing is using different ingredients that once the heat is applied to them, the chemicals bond, creating formaldehyde. So even with those packages that say formaldehyde free, be very careful. Legally, yes, it's formaldehyde free.
Well, that's not
but once the 450 degrees is applied to it, and those chemicals and those, yep, you got formaldehyde. And yet, even though it says formaldehyde free, they still say you have to be in a highly ventilated area. So
here's where my part comes in. Stop talking. Now I'm going to say something I know something about.
Okay. Go for it.
So the problem with formaldehyde, big deal. You know what? We all used to sniff a little glue. We used to sniff the Ditto machine, the Xerox, the copiers. Oh my God! If they could bring back the copiers, the Ditto maker from elementary school, I would be in heaven. But formaldehyde, you know what? It's got a little, you know, it's a sticky wicket there because this is a known carcinogen. It's been banned in the European Union as well as Canada because apparently they're smarter than we are. We just want to keep sniffing the stuff. So in the United States, OSHA, you know, they did this study and they found that in the salons that are doing these Brazilian blowouts, the levels of formaldehyde was dangerously high in these salons. Pretty scary. I mean, so if you're just sitting there getting your hair done, you're not even getting the Brazilian blowout. Holy moly, you know, you're getting some exposure. So what happens when you get that exposure?
Same thing that happened with lead. People had no idea it was harmful until what?
The paint tasted
50 years later or more.
Well, who cares 50 years down the road? But here's some immediate things that are going to happen. like you explained, you're going to have some burning eyes, nose, mouth, you know, all of that. That really does. It's a central nervous system, you know, irritant. It just irritates everything. You get, you know, workers exposed get irritability. They get anxiety, sleeplessness. And this next one to me was a little interesting. These people that are exposed 3 times more likely to develop Lou Gehrig's disease. Now that is a disease that is progressive and devastating and fatal. I don't really want to expose myself to something that's going to do that. And then the other thing, linked to hair loss. Trying to prevent that from falling out, trying to keep it all up here, not down on the floor. I'm not going to do something that's going to do that.
Say something else. But anyway,
oh, no.
Hair loss, if you think about it, keratin, like I said, coats the hair. So can you imagine what happens when your scalp gets coated, when the follicles get coated? Well, they can't breathe. They suffocate, they start to die. Hair stops to come through. So.
Ta-da. All right, so if you do get a Brazilian blowout, we're not going to judge you. You know what? Everybody wants that straight, shiny hair. Beautiful. I don't blame you. Here's what you can do to care for it. So after we told you all the bad things, here's what you can do.
Always, always get your color done first.
Oh, yes.
Always get your color done first.
Why?
'Cause once that hair is coated and you apply color on afterwards, it's going to wash out much faster. Much faster. Color stays in the hair because the cuticle opens up with the peroxide levels, depending on what level you use. The more you open it, the more, okay. So in order for color to stay, it needs to get into the cuticle. And when you have it coated with keratin, you're blocking it. So same thing goes for conditioners even. You know, never condition your hair before you go for color. So it definitely color it before you get your keratin. And the keratin can seal the color in afterwards.
Nice. Shampoos. So shampoo this no more than 3 times a week, because what's going to happen is you're going to wash out all that lovely keratin that you've been putting in there.
All that money is going to go bye-bye.
If you're stylish, you'd be happy. But make sure that you are using sulfate-free shampoo, because that sulfate, those harmful things that we presented last time, going to wash all of that keratin out.
That's right.
And
Detergents.
don't buy those keratin-containing shampoos. Those keratin-containing shampoos are going to keep depositing it in on the hair and make it brittle as all get out.
So you're putting more keratin on top of that keratin. Yeah, you're causing problems.
Do the overlapping.
We've already covered that.
Covered it.
A few times.
Got it. What kind of shampoo? You want a hydrating one, because that hair is now really dry. And my favorite tip, finishing oil, right? Moisturize, frizz-free, and ta-da!
Well, remember, even after keratin, it still requires some blowing out, some flat ironing, some stuff like that. So you still will need something to protect your hair against that heat. So an oil, which can protect you, or some leave-in conditioner is great as well.
I love leave-in conditioner mixed with oil. All right, guys, so that is what we've got for you, kind of on the fly, little disorganized as we get ready to leave.
We do have recommendations as far as using the right shampoos for, you know, to help your keratin stay in longer, or for anything that's damaged and brittle, or for even, you know, if you have hair loss, and if you need something for hydration.
Yep, so reach out to us. We'd be happy to make some recommendations for you, and we will see you probably not Wednesday night, because we've got a big event in Vegas.
Yes, we do.
We are going to do a special live presentation Thursday night, but we're going to do it Vegas time. So it will be 8:30 Vegas time for all of our West Coast friends who never really get to see us and have to watch the replay. So that is it. We'll see you Thursday night with the new presentation. Have a great week, guys, and see you in a few days.
Thanks for joining us.